Good, thanks. Good.
What'd you think of what you saw Sunday? I'm guessing some encouraging stuff.
Yeah, it was a start. I think that ball had been, so far out there in front of us, and the starters hadn't played all of the preseason, so it's really good to get everybody out there at the same time and really good a good chemistry and cohesiveness and guys communicating and playing together. So I think it's a good start for us, something to build off of.
When you look down at a stat sheet and see that many defensive linemen contributing, is that about as good as it can get for you?
Certainly, we really feel like that's the strength of our unit, and that we have so many good players at that position that it's important for us to really have a good rotation and keep everybody fresh and playing at a high level.
Tape. What did Daryl Taylor show you?
Well, considering it was his first game, he sat out last year, as you know, and the work he's put in this offseason. Anytime you see a guy with that much talent, combine it with the work that he has put in as far as fighting through his injury and really doing the rehab and coming out here in the spring and being really consistent during the summer, you have a certain expectation when you see that type of work combined with that talent. You expect to see that type of performance.
He said he's a better rusher from the left side of the defense than the right side. Why do you guys have a preference, or what are the different styles that require to be better on one side than the other?
I don't know exactly what he means by that. That was his first game. I don't know if he has a few games to really compare that to. He's he's at that young age. Just get him out there and rush. He should be able to rush from either side as well. So I hope he's not getting to the point where the first game he's deciding different things. So he just needs to get out there and continue a consistent pattern where he can put pressure on the quarterback.
What did you see from Cody Barton when he played some on Sunday?
Wow, it was good to see Cody, get out there and play. Well, again, we have a good group of D linemen as well as linebackers, as you know, and the plan was to get him some reps out there and play a little rotation with the three of them, and it was good to see him out there play. I thought he did a really good job.
The situations, Ken, that your defensive ends have to drop depending on the pass rush, depending on whatever scheme. What is your expectation of them?
Well, just to know, what the defense has asked them to do, to really understand the tendencies that we give them, and to drop accordingly. It's not a big drop for them. It's not like a big responsibility, but you have to do it well, and we have the right body types and the right athletes to do it.
Jon Rhattigan got promoted to the active roster. How's he come along from being under?
He's been a fantastic story. He's been really tough, consistent. He's the type of student of the game that's always learning and growing, always trying to get extra information. I think he understands his role and his ability to really contribute to this team, and he's done that. And I think that coaches has really seen his progress, and he's been rewarded. I think that players who play hard and live right and do the right things and perform, there's a certain expectation of a reward, and he got that.
What position does he fit in best right now in linebacker?
In the linebacker room, he plays the middle linebacker, Mike linebacker.
You talked about the defensive line rotation and how deep it is and all that. Obviously, LJ wasn't active on Sunday. I guess that speaks to how difficult it sort of was to.
Right, it's a competition, and LJ's out here working hard, and it's a really long season, and he'll have every opportunity to come out here on the practice field, and everybody continuing to rotate. But it's still early in the season. It's only one game, a whole lot of games left.
Speaking of competitions, the nickel guys switched off, and Pete kind of indicated that competition is still ongoing. You like what you saw from both guys?
Absolutely. They are good friends, and they're really good football players, and there's a good combination between the both of them and a good competition. So they both are really good, and they're making each other better.
What do you think of how Trey and DJ Reed played on Sunday?
Solid. I think that anytime you have guys on the edge, and that's a really tough position, anytime we can keep the deep ball, no seams, no posts, and keep the explosives down, that's a good day. And I think that they were doing a really good job of staying on top and keeping everything underneath us and let the underneath coverage handle it. But anytime there's no bombs going over our head, we're doing all right.
How big a test are those two facing this weekend?
It's a real challenge. I think that what Tennessee has and the talent they have at the receiver position certainly a challenge, and those guys really understand what's out there for them.
Derrick Henry, what's the biggest challenge with him?
Well, I think we've all seen the film. He's a big, strong, tough running back, and it's important that everybody plays sound gap control, but everybody's involved in tackling, getting him down. You want to see more than one person at a time getting around him. You want to see a big gang of Seahawk bodies just jumping on him and pulling them down. But it's a team effort. We expect all 11 guys to be around the ball constantly.
When you played, Ken, who was the toughest running back to tackle?
There's a lot of good ones back in the old days. I mean, when you see a big back like Henry, you think of the Nigerian Nightmare, Barry Word, Herschel Walker was a big one. Eric Dickerson was big. I mean, a lot of big backs, over the time. Marcus Allen, he was a big guy. There's a lot of big backs in those days. Eddie George, it kind of goes, but they all had different qualities about them, but they all were strong and all tough. And Derrick Henry is just like that.
Anything else, guys? Thank you.
Thank you.